Good morning. It's the Saints man, the medium wheelbase driver on and off the CX. It don't sound right, does it? We'll leave it a small van driver because most of the work I do is still small van work. Um, yeah, good week. Good adventure week for me, really. I was back in Scotland. Let's go through the fuel. My fuel price was lowered on Monday morning, actually, and it's 104.5, which works out at 125. It has gone up next week because I've already got my fuel prices through to 106, so it's got up tuppence. But yeah, 125. When you work out 125 and it's 4.5 to a gallon, £6 62, £5 62. So let's call it £6 maximum. That covers it easy. But it's 5.62 a gallon. The Vito I've got now, which I was gonna name it Vicky, Victoria. It's just Victoria Vito, Vicky Vito. I'm still not sure about that. So the jury's out. Um, if you can think of a name, better. The other one I thought of was Violet, Vi, because Violet was my nan's name, which don't know about that one. But no, still not sure. Still haven't got an identity for it. But yeah, great adventure in Scotland. So when Monday I got a job, a small job. It was only 45 quid, but it was only going 30 miles. It was a short wheelbase job, which would have fitted in a back of my old Doblo. And I found that a lot actually. The short wheelbase jobs, which I'm getting slightly more money for, apart from one job would have fitted in the back of the Doblo. But it's great that I can quote on them now. So like Monday, we ended up in Flitwick, which is south of Bedford, and then a job come on from Stevenage to Edinburgh, which I quoted on and got, and it was two small wooden crates which would have fitted in a car, and it was a small van job. Got goodish money for that going up, so it made it a fantastic day. Got up there, the weather was really kind, beautiful weather, so I stayed up there and tramped. I got up there. Time I get up there, got it delivered by about 4:35, something like that. May have been 5 o'clockish, something like that. Got it delivered and decided because I was tramping up there and it was nice weather. I found a swimming pool which I'd used before, and I can't for the life of me think of what it was called. It was the Airdrie Leisure Centre or something like that, right next to a Morrison's in Edinburgh. I've used it before. It's really good for swimming and good bit of exercise. And it's a way of getting a shower. I'm going to tramp. I got a really nice shower after it. And my good friend Neil at Neptune Couriers, who's in Scotland, I'd already sort of said I'd got to park up somewhere. So I decided to go to Queen's Ferry that night. I thought I'll park up where I normally park up. But I went further along slightly, not under the railway bridge, and cracking night's sleep, nice food. And anyway, I hadn't got a job for Tuesday, so I haven't got no work for Tuesday. Woke up Tuesday quite early, and I got a job then to Glasgow, Edinburgh to Glasgow, which I quoted on and got. But before that, there was an Edinburgh to Edinburgh, and it was to help a driver with 15 mattresses, which would have fitted in before I did the Edinburgh to Glasgow, because there was no jobs going south. So I thought I'd do that, then do the Edinburgh to Glasgow, then look for a Glasgow south, which didn't happen. There was very, very little jobs out of Glasgow. But there was another job, Glasgow, back to Edinburgh. So that's what we did. We went back to Edinburgh. So we worked in Scotland, and I decided I was staying in Scotland. And then before the end of the day, I got a job from Edinburgh to Dumfries for Wednesday. So I'd got myself sort of down near to Carlisle, or getting on the way to Carlisle, and I got really good money for that one. So I stayed up there Tuesday night. Again, we went swimming, and this time we stayed near, as I say, near at Neptune, and said about Portobello, which is a beautiful. Because I was picking up to the east of Edinburgh, it was the right side. Beautiful beaches, wow, and the temperature was about 24, 23, really hot. It did drop down to about 18 or 19 by 9 o'clock at night, but people were on the beach. There was beach volleyball, there was barbecues, great vibe. I got myself a sausage supper, which would have fed an army. Two huge jumbo sausage, battered jumbo sausage, bloody pile of mountain of chips. Yeah, really good night. And slept really well in a side street. Can't think what the street's called in Portobello, but it's actually road closed, but you can get to it from a lane below it and park up. A few motorhomes there. It's a regular park up. And I slept solid again. So I had two really good nights' sleep. Got up early. I got a pick up at Harper State in Portobello, so it was perfect, just on the edge. And it was going to Dumfries, and we picked it up at 8:20, and took a beautiful road to Dumfries. It was through the borders. I went through Moffat, and it was ideal. Never touched the M6, nothing beautiful, or the M74. And then it was a matter of getting another job. I was always heading home, so I needed a job south. Uh, I decided not to wait in Carlisle because I hadn't seen a job there all morning. I carried on driving. Parked at Lim Truck Stop in Manchester, and I quoted on jobs south there, and one was to Wellingborough, and it was a short wheelbase job, and I quoted a really low and never got it. Unsuccessful. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to drive home because I want to get home tonight, get my own bed. But I got a job then from Cannock to Northampton. So I got a really good job, pretty well paid. I was virtually on the cusp of going M6 Tarwell M6, and that's where the Cannock turn is off the Watling Street. And he phoned through with a job. So that was okay. It wasn't a great pence per mile, Jay, because I did 360 mile and I only ended up doing 130 quid. But it was my petrol money home. So got me home and I was home Wednesday. Thursday, I decided I was going to stay quite local, and I got a job booked in already to Coventry. And then I did two small jobs, Hinkley to Shefford, and then Biggleswade. I did a job to Oxford Airport in Kidlington. It's not in Oxford, it's just off the Kidlington Road sort of thing. And that was Thursday. So I did three short jobs, good pence per mile on all jobs. They were all small van jobs that day. In fact, I only did one, two, three. I did four short wheelbase jobs, and all the rest were small van jobs. And the short wheelbase jobs would have all fitted in a small van. And then Friday, again, I was staying local. I was coming home, which is yesterday, because today's Saturday morning. And I did a St. Neots to Bromsgrove. Early start. I had to be out of my bed at 4:15. I picked up, well, 4:15. I got up 20 past, 4:30. Set the alarm for 4:15. Just had a little sit. On the road at 5. Picked up just before 6. Delivered to Bromsgrove. Again, it was a small van job. And then I got a Birmingham to Kidlington. So I went back to Kidlington. It wasn't the airport. It was the technology park outside of the airport yesterday. And then I got a nice little 50 quidder, Bicester to Bedford on the way home. And that was my week. So a good week. I love the adventure of going to Scotland. It's what I really like doing about the job, where you can just, you're your own boss. You can do what you like. I went swimming a couple of times. Went for beautiful walks on the beach. Had a little look round Portobello, which is a little thriving little high street there. Yeah, really nice. The Queen's Ferry one, where I stopped there the first night, I've stopped further down on the Queen's Ferry, so I walked right down to the railway bridges and back up. Queen's Ferry is a nice little area as well. It's all good. My total mileage was 1,500. In fact, it was just over 1,510. I did 49 hours duty in 5 days, so 10-hour days. But I did a couple of long days in them. Well, one long day, I suppose. Yeah, one long day. And then my money was 980. So add the VAT on, it was 1,176. So, okay. give the VAT man his 10%, 117.60. It works out 1,058. So my target is 1,000. Haven't been hitting it lately with the Doblo or last week because I only did 4 days, but it averaged £211 a day after paying the VAT man. So that's 211 after VAT. So yeah, not too bad. Just over target. The veto, which again we haven't named, but well, Vicky's sort of sticking now. Victoria, not Victoria, it's a Vicky. Um, it's amazing on fuel. It is absolutely amazing. The Scotland run, yes, it was all A1 and it was all cruise control. 51 I got out of it. 51 to the gallon, which is impressive because I couldn't get that out of the Doblo. And even I did urban jobs Thursday and Friday, which is like stop, start, no motorways, A roads, B roads. You know, they call it like town driving, I suppose. I was still getting 48 point. It worked out 48.7, which is for urban drive. And I had some weight on Thursday. I took a pallet, 350 kilos. And also, I had two pallets. I had a second pallet and all, which was 250 kilos. So Thursday was a good test. Still did 48.7. So happy with that. So good week overall. We've got a busy morning this morning. It's beautiful weather as well. We did have a few storms, but we're boxing in some flower beds with some railway sleepers. My wife's bought 12 railway sleepers, and she's at the B&Q at the moment getting a longer drill because we're going to screw them together. And the drills we got are not long enough. Don't go on. So today, that's why I'm doing this now because we're going to be doing that. Then I'm going to go and get showered, shaved, make myself look gorgeous, and then we're going to visit my auntie. Come to see her all week, and that's Saturday. Probably end up doing some barbecue food tonight. So anyway, next week is a full week for me. Although I want to get back Friday quite early because the week after I'm going on holiday. Me and my wife have booked a week in Crete, and we're doing all inclusive week in Crete. So one more full week, then a week off, and then that's my holidays done now until November. So I've got a job Monday, uh, picking up 8 o'clock in Northampton. I'm going to Exeter, small van job. That gets me a good start, and then we'll see what we can get from Exeter. So I hope you're all okay. The Mercedes is glorious. It is so comfortable, and that's what it's all about now for me. Comfort, and it's comfort. I didn't expect this pence per mile. If I this miles per gallon. If I knew I was going to get the same as the Doblo, I may have looked last year at getting this van. But the Doblo's been a cracking van. Darren the mechanic's got it. He's happy. I'm happy. So yeah, all good. Let's say have a great rest of the weekend. It looks like the weather's going to be fantastic next week. Uh, if you do tramp, it's good weather for tramping because I've looked and it doesn't drop below 12 at night in Northampton, where I end up. I don't know. I may not tramp at all. It is a lot better tramping in the Vito, the like the long wheelbase. I get more room. I've got a lot more room to put stuff. I've set it up really well. I'll have to put a photo. I'll have to put a photo on and show you how it's set up next time. But yeah, it just gives me a lot more comfort. And yeah, the van drive's sweet at the moment. So touch wood. Anyway, have a great weekend, guys. Please like and subscribe, all that jazz, whatever you do. Be great. If you got any comments, I do try and answer them. If I miss some, I apologise now because I don't look at it every day. I'm not one of these. I don't. You can say on script, no editing, no nothing. This is how it is. I may do one once I get. I haven't got the plywood yet for the boxes. I haven't ordered them yet. I probably should have, but I haven't. I may do it this week. Order it. But Darren's having the van when I'm off for a day. He's just going to do an oil change, although it's had one quite recent. You only see it on paper. I know it has because it's got a service sheet, but I've done about 4,500 already, 4,000. So we're gonna do an oil change, and he's gonna just look it over it, check over, make sure everything's okay, and we'll see. Anyway, speak soon, guys.